Sally was mildly impressed with herself for writing the introduction of a story. She sat at a table at her favorite outside café and ordered a fancy coffee. The waiter liked that. Most everyone had the names down. Some even pronounced them correctly. This woman didn't care, as long as it was fancy. So he made something anyone could be proud of and set it beside her little black book. "Are you a writer?" "Oh no, I took a course, sat in on one, looking for a hobby. A good hobby. Not so good at it, but when it happens, I really like it." "Don't let me hold you back." "No worries." So, let us see how the two warlords are getting on, back on Someotherwhereandwhen Land. 3 days they talked. Food and drink had been served, but otherwise they were on their own. They didn't take too long to agree that it would be a novel idea to take a break from war. Lord Don Howisay had even agreed that the marriage of his daughter to Lord Mywill Bedon could be a good thing for both countries. But again, I see a problem with there being no enemy. We may lose our spirit to be strong and train hard. What will the subjects have to fear? We will give them law. They will fear the law. We will hunt down the enemies of the state. We will execute them publicly. We will incarcerate those who do not pay taxes. The strong shall enforce the law. They will be the soldiers and warriors for peace. The first son of Layla shall be Lord of the world, west and east. His name shall be Thy will be done. Lord of east-west, King of the world. It shall be written and painted so. From this day you are my son. Lord Don Howisay went to give his daughter the news. She spoke not in reply, for she knew it was of no use to contradict the Lord. She wasn't too shocked. Princess Layla had seen Lord Mywill Bedon on the battlefield. She saw him bring an end to the battle upon seeing her. She was flattered, really. A man who had known only war to stop upon the sight of her. "Will you contradict my wishes?" "No, Papa. Your wish is my command." "Then I will order a feast for the evening, and we will make the announcement presently on the balcony for the soldiers to witness." And so it was done. Lord Don Howisay united his one daughter, not including the 700 not from the dead queen, and Lord Mywill Bedon before the soldiers of east and west. We are one. The feast, considering how quickly it had been arranged, was a great party. Many of the top-ranking soldiers from east and west attended, together for the first time in history. Many writers and painters documented the event. Out on the battlefield, the dead had been burnt, and the soldiers partied with what they had: various smokable plants and some wine. Animals had been hunted and slaughtered. Songs were sung. Mywill Bedon led the proud warriors in a song he had put together with his new father-in-law. The tale is quite simply told, yet its canter clear and bold warns the singer to take care, to lift the yoke he must bear. For folly will take its full toll, the cost of body and of soul. Stay upon your narrow path, all others lead to untold wrath. For now we change war for law, the word is written without flaw. Obey the way of the land, it is writ by holy hand. There were a few fights where very few died, and the next day the newly united royal couple started their long parade back to Lord Mywill Bedon's castle, where they got started on producing offspring. It didn't take much time for Layla to produce, and oh, what a surprise and joy it was for East and West when news spread that she had 2 babies in one pregnancy. This wasn't unheard of, but it was seldom that one was a boy and one was a girl. The boy already had a name, but Thywill's sister went for many days before they could find her a name. She says, and it is thus. And it was so. Quickly she was called Andy. She was the admiration of all. Thywil was also loved, but he was not quite as bright. He took longer to learn how to talk and walk, and could not be convinced to read or write. What he loved more than anything was to pester and fight. Moral superiority is a double-edged blade. It has no handle. It cannot be wielded without bleeding. Mywill Bedon didn't know what that meant and didn't care. He found his tutor tedious. He told him to fuck off and went to play outside of the castle. He liked to walk around the world that would soon be his. He liked to pretend it already was. He made little girls kiss his ass or take a beating. Because he was the true king, it was a fun game. He sometimes hit the girls even when they kissed his ass. Make them do it right. A big brother of one of the little girls was not pleased with the game. A boy was making 3 girls kiss his ass and take his verbal and physical abuse. He didn't understand why the 3 girls didn't run away or fight him. Kick the prick in the nuts. If you don't stop doing that, I'm going to whip your ass so you can't sit down. Mywill Bedon pointed his wooden sword at the young man. You bow to me and beg for mercy. The young man yanked the sword out of Mywill's hand. He thought about hitting him with it to teach him a lesson, but he hesitated when he saw the look of the boy's eyes. It wasn't a game to him. Then he saw movement. From out of the shadows that he hadn't even noticed as shadows came a warrior in black with a drawn sword. From behind him he felt hands on his shoulders pushing him down. Now beg for mercy. Who are you? I am Prince Mywill Bedon, the rightful heir to the realm of East and West. Mywill Bedon, your humble servant begs for mercy. Take him to the dungeon and chain him upside down to the wall. Mywill was not in the mood for mercy. Strip him, face to the wall. Mywill ordered the 3 girls to walk with him and the 4 warriors. Mywill liked the dungeon, the sounds of dripping water echoing, the stench of unclean humans and the excrement. He enjoyed all the shadows and the flickering light of the torches that lined the walls, the smell of fear. After the young man was chained up and his clothes ripped off him, Mywill started hitting him. You have dared to question my authority. No one questions the authority of Mywill Bedon. Those who do are enemies of the realm. The penalty, a long, slow, painful death. Time for you to know your crime. He handed his wooden sword to the little girl. You hit him. You hit him or hang next to him. The little girl hit her big brother. The first few hits were not so hard, but she feared the prince and quickly turned fear to fury, imagining she was beating the evil prince, and lay a real beating on her big brother, until he was bleeding from his ass to his shoulders. Enough, take her out of here, put the other 2 in a cell. Mywill knew the little girl would tell the story many times. It pleased him. He had power. He poked the man on the wall to see if he was awake. You know who put you up there? A monster. Mywill stuck the end of his wooden spear into the man's ear. He pushed and twisted until the man shook his head. Mywill poked him really hard in the ear. Call me by my name. Loathsome. Repugnant. Mywill jabbed really hard with 2 hands into the man's ass. He used all his weight to force it in as far as it would go. You can keep my sword. When you are granted a new life as a slave, take one thing from this life. Mywill Bedon is Lord of all. I will kill you 1,000 times. I will hunt you down and exterminate you until the end of the world. Mywill kicked the man a few times. I am Lord of this world. My will be your will, or you will hang forever. He lost interest and went to see the 2 girls. Mywill Bedon, Lord of heaven and earth, have mercy on us. Kiss my ass. Sally slapped her book shut, thanked the bartender, and went to the on-ship hairdresser to have her hair dyed black, even her eyebrows. She intended to keep it black until she was back in the West. Billy nodded when she returned to the room. My main character is a real bastard. Your main character is an angel. Sally tapped on her book. Then she gave Billy a hug. Did you book us a nice hotel? I did, with a view of the harbor. like we haven't seen enough water. You don't have to look. I'll look. Now tell me how we do this.